They wear a lanyard. They have this thing, and on the back, what the NEA wanted to was encouraging teachers to do, and they were doing it over the last couple of years, and that is this added little thing here. Now you can scan that code. I'm going to show you what that code leads you to because it still exists. But they would say if a kid comes to them who is, I'm going to leave it up for just a little bit longer, that this person is a safe person. That if you want to be a cat, it's okay. I will accept that you are a cat. Now just scan this code and I'm going to give you resources that will help you in your desire to be something that you're not. And they scan that code and it takes them to a website. So I'm going to take my background off for a second and I'm going to go to my computer here and bring up. This is where it goes. So go back to my screen. This is the website that it goes to. Now, again, if you scan that code, if you freeze it on there, it should. Hopefully the quality is good enough. It'll take you to this website. This is look at right there at the top. NEA, which is National Education Association. This is their website. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer caucus. And you go over here to the left, and it says in partnership with who? The NEA membership benefits, the CTA membership benefits, and the Standard, which is an organization that gives them disability coverage. So you got these organizations that are supporting it. There's other pages where the APLE shows up and some other smaller unions. So again, it brings it all into a connection. So what are some of these resources? And I'm going to take you to the first one where I'm going to give you the Planned Parenthood connection. Now understand, this is the NEA, which is the national, but the CTA, as you can see, is part of this. You don't see Minnesota Teachers Association. You don't see New Mexico. No, but the CTA is very much a part of the NEA because that's why they're the only ones listed on here with the NEA. And so you're going to see here, oops, sorry, wrong one. You're going to see here where this is the a Vermont Agency of Education, which is on the CTA NEA website, which is this full spectrum educator's guide to implementing LGBTQ inclusive sex ed. So this is for teachers and students to understand that you can have a full spectrum of implementing LGBTQ inclusive sex education. So let me go to page 4 and make the connection of Planned Parenthood. Who is responsible for this document? Planned Parenthood of Northern New England, who helped them put this together. Now, you'll find Planned Parenthood on other stuff, but I just wanted to at least show you one document where I can show you that Planned Parenthood and CTA and the NEA all work together for this nonsense for a very small percentage of children who are mostly in trouble in the sense that they're just confused, they're depressed, they have other issues going on, and now the NEA put together this card so they could grab them before any reasonable adult with common sense says to them, hey, wait a minute, let's get you some assistance on what it is you're going through. No, they want to grab you right away without the notification of parents because they don't want parents stopping this from happening and send them to this website, which gives them these kinds of documentation. What else do you find on that website? Well, you'll find this right here, which is the Teen Health Source. It's a blog. This is for self-assessment. So they want kids, in elementary school to self-assess their mental health when it comes to feeling like maybe they're in the wrong body or the wrong animal for whatever reason, and gives them definitions and information. And it just gives them, why queering sex ed? What does queering sex ed look like? And then goes through, it's inclusive, it's accessible, it's sex positive. Wait, do we want our 8-year-old and 9-year-old and 10-year-old to be sex positive? No, we want them to ride their bike and have fun and swing on a swing and do a whole number. No, we don't. It's crazy. What else is on here? Let me show you this one. This is queer sex ed. This is part of what they're teaching in queer sex ed. Sex acts that don't get enough play. In other words, I just want to come back to my camera. In other words, this document is telling kids that there's some sex stuff that you need to know about that maybe your parents are keeping from you, or that you need to know about because it's really fun and we need you to participate in this stuff, or else we're not going to have future customers when it comes to abortions or transitioning treatments, that you need to get into this document so we can share some really fun stuff for you. Want me to show you what this fun stuff is? Let's go back to my screen. So this is sex acts that don't get enough play. This is for kids, by the way. This is what they made for children. And it says there are some kinds of sex that we hear a lot about, other kinds of sex, particularly kinds of sex that queer or trans people might be interested in. Don't get a lot of coverage. This recipe book is designed to give you more information about some of the sex acts that we don't think get enough play. These people are crazy. These people are nuts. Anal sex. Coming back to my camera. Who doesn't know that anal sex is one of the most dangerous things you can do? I mean, that's what I always heard. I, as a police officer, would respond to a number of incidents where people had injured themselves doing stupid stuff with anal penetration, and end up in the hospital and get, sepsis or some type of, where you get poisoned by excrements that should not be put into the body, and a number of those incidents was through anal sex. Why are we telling children? Why is the NEA, the CTA, the candidates like Trisha and Marilyn and Misty pushing this kind of nonsense through their support of the NEA, the CTA, and Planned Parenthood towards kids? This makes no sense. This isn't even the half of it. But you got the anal sex. It talks about what to use. Go back to my screen. Condoms or gloves, bum, lube, fingers. A shit ton of consent is needed. What kind of language is this? Substitutions, finger or other penetration. Go slow. It might take a while to get comfortable. What's next? Bondage. Yeah, we want to teach 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds about bondage. Use rope, ribbon, scarves, tape, belts, chains, a safe word and clear boundaries, a shit ton of consent again. So we got that. Let's go on to, I'm sorry, I got to keep this short. Rimming. Rimming. Is this one of the dumbest things you've ever heard? Some people I know, like me, you have to look up. And I was a police officer for 21 years. Now, rimming, I didn't have to look because I had a couple cases that involved it, but that's the only reason I knew about this nonsense. But it's a type of oral sex. Many people feel this recipe works best when all necessary pots and pans have been cleaned thoroughly. They use words that are more like how you would speak to a kid. Pots and pans need to be cleaned. No, you need to clean your butt and your fingers and your whatever. It's just crazy. Domination. Sadomasochism. Sadist gives pain. So they're teaching kids how to use pain in sex. Humiliation. So let me come back to my camera. So as many of you might know, I'm a police officer, retired. I now am an expert witness in court cases involving criminal acts and that kind of stuff. Had a criminal case involving a homicide where a man had taken a young girl of age, though I think he was like 32 and she was like 19 or 20. Took her into his apartment. There's a video of the apartment, outside the apartment, of them walking in. And then later on, he walks out with a rug all rolled up and puts it in his car and then leaves. Turns out her body was inside that rug. Well, it turns out that they went in to have sex play, and sadomasochism was part of that. I think she had ties around her neck and had her hands and feet bound. And apparently, through other witness statements and other evidence we had, this had gone on a few times. So this wasn't the first time. But this time, he had accidentally killed her. At least that is the word on in the investigation. But now he didn't know what to do with the body, and so he wraps up in a blanket or a carpet and takes her and gets rid of the body. I still to this day don't think they found the body, but that took place during sadomasochism. These things that they're teaching kids to do, and do you think kids know when to stop? Do you think that out of the excitement they know how tight to put the rope around the neck? But you have CTA, California Teachers Association. You have the NEA, National Educators Association. You have APLE, who is sending this stuff to your children so that they can learn how to perform sadomasochism, and hoping that they get a shit ton of consent and do it right. So you don't have incidents like I had in that particular case, that's just one of many cases. As a police officer, 21 years, I can tell you of at least 5 to 6. As one police officer in Anaheim went to calls where either somebody had died or was near death because of sadomasochism. And yet you have the teachers and you have these three candidates who, oh, this is fantastic. We need more of this. And we're going to make sure that everybody gets a taste of this if we're elected. And this is what they want. Back to my screen. Here's another one that this is just one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, and that is sexting. So you have the CTA, California Teachers Association, NEA, National Educators Association, APLE, Association of Placental Linda Educators, who is encouraging your children to sext each other and how to do it. And do it in a way, and they give you step by step. You see here, it says person one, hey babe. Person two, hey, I can't wait to see you tonight. Can't wait to see what part of me. I can't wait to see your sexiness and kiss your neck. That sounds nice. I really like it when you kiss my neck. And then, I bet you look super sexy in that outfit. I'd really like to. And then, of course, it stops there. They want the person on their side to send a picture of themselves in a sexy shot of some sort. But this is the CTA encouraging children to sext each other, fingering, and it goes on. All right, I've had enough. Muffing, I have no idea what that is. I don't know what that is. Inguinal canals. Who knew that we have what's called I don't even know how to say it. Sorry, I'm going to go back to my presentation. I can't take this nonsense anymore. This is just the craziest thing. All right. So those are some of the documents. I think I had a couple more to show you, but I can't take it anymore. And so this is the CTA. These are the people that are funding those three candidates. And these three candidates are, oh yeah, take money. When we get into power, we're going to make sure that everything that the CTA wants, everything that the APLE wants and the NEA wants, we're going to make sure that our schools here in Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District are a part of this stuff that I just read to you. That we will also make sure that these initiatives that I just read to you get pushed through so that parents have no clue what is going on with their kids when they're at our schools. And the way that they're doing this is that the same people that are in the CTA, NEA, and the APLE, these retired teachers, a few of the current teachers, I know some of them are at Brookhaven. I know some of them at Yorba Linda High School. I know a couple of them that are at El Dorado High School. I know them because I've seen them at different events. And I've seen some of these retired people helping the children over at Esperanza protest, carrying signs. Patricia Hanzo, Angela Eilers, and other people out there with their signs encouraging kids, hey, we need you to do this. These are people that are part of the CTA, the APLE. And then they do that, and then on social media, they put things like this. An entire admin staff at a high school wiped out. Admins all across the district gone. So much winning. That is a flat out lie. Because when you get documents like this from the school district where fewer people, do you see here where it says in 2021-22, 46 people resigned. In 2022-23, 46 people resigned. The same. Only in 23-24 did the number drop. We have fewer people that resigned as far as teachers are concerned. Retired, we had the same amount. As a matter of fact, it's even less than last year retired. So they put out this information that we're losing teachers, hundreds of teachers, that 25 admin are gone. That is not true. One principal did not have his contract renewed, and he's gone and being investigated as far as I know of some matters. And then you have other teachers that were, principals that were given a promotion. Joey Davis, who should have actually been fired, in my opinion, but for causing a hostile work environment with police officers at El Dorado High School. But he was actually given a promotion. He decided on his own to go to another school district. But they put up these comments and these posts where they're trying to get the community to believe that there's a purge, that hundreds of people are being fired, that it's just the district's on fire with the amount of nonsense that's going on. None of that is true. And they want to go back. They want to go back to a couple of years ago when it was even worse than it is now. I mean, by far worse than it is now. If we just go back to 2022, let me just share this one thing with you. Back in 2022, Adamson